incredible, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the semi-final with the last 12 minutes of the second leg, you're thinking, how can you, better that? But that's the way it turned out, didn't it? To score in the as there was 2 minutes extra time in added time in extra time. Yeah, it's just fell in perfectly. Delighted for everybody connected with the club.
And you brought Greg Wilkinson on essentially to take a spot kick.
Yeah, we've been practicing penalties, just the way the game was panning out, and Greg's been extremely accomplished with that. But it just reminded me a little bit of the North Ferriby game, where he's come on, he's, with his first touch of the goal, he's put the equaliser away. This time it's the winner in a playoff final. How good does he feel? If we'd have put him on 5 minutes before, he wouldn't have got it, would he? But just the timing, and to be fair, he showed a great coolness, to slot it side-footed, through a very tight gap as well.
And when we took the lead early in the second half, we seemed in charge of the game for 15 minutes or so, and it looked like it perhaps was only going to be a matter of time before a second one came. But then out of the blue, Guiseley has equalised us, and that rocked us back for 5 or 6 minutes, but we did actually recover well.
Yeah, pleasing. I mean, if you look at the semi-final, like I mentioned before, and going behind with 12 minutes to go, it takes a mental strength. It was shown in that case, and it was shown again today. And that's what you look for, progress within your squad, within your players. And I did mention it after the semi-final that last year we probably wouldn't have done that. But we did this year, and then we've done it again. I mean, the players have ticked a lot of boxes over the last 4 weeks, and that will stand them in very good stead.
That's twice now you've taken a team into the conference. National 2007, Farsley Celtic 2014, Altrincham. How did the two compare?
Very, very similar. I mean, Farsley was a smaller club, but it was a great journey. With Altrincham, more of a history of, if you want to call it, dining at the top table in non-league football. But in saying that, stepping out of it 3 years ago was in the circumstances was very hard for people. I wasn't here at the time, but you could tell by speaking to people. I came into this club 3 years ago, and the idea is obviously to turn it around and point it in the right direction, and that's what we did, and that's why we find ourselves here today. But I'm delighted for all the board. I'm delighted for all the volunteers and all the supporters. And I suppose, what time is it now? It's 5 to 7. If you asked all the Altrincham supporters, can you believe that you are back in the conference? There'll be a little bit of yes and no. Do you know what I mean? Just waiting for it to sink in. So I'm delighted. I mean, when I took the job, Brian, I remember you ushering me into the director's room. Yes, before it was redecorated and looks very nice now. And at that press conference, my mandate was to put a smile back on the faces, and job done.
Yeah, certainly is today. And what a fantastic crowd!
Unbelievable. I was talking to the Guiseley directors and after the game, and they estimated that there were probably around 700 or 800, which is a magnificent, absolutely superb. And I must take just a minute to commiserate with them. I mean, 4 years it's hard. I hope they do it. It's a lovely run club. They play some good football, don't they? And you do feel you can feel their disappointment, but there has to be winners and losers. And thankfully the coin came down on our side. Hopefully they can do it next season. I expected us to better the crowd at the semi-final 1971, but I didn't expect to better it by that far. I mean, we've over doubled it, haven't we? So, the weather was unpredictable. The weather wasn't the best, but I thought, there was, there's some good singing by both sides, and the game played out in the right manner.
And it's been a topsy-turvy season. What would you say has been the low point?
The low point is when we don't perform, because I know how well we can perform, and it wouldn't take much to look into games of last season, to recognise that disappointment. Obviously, the major one for me was Trafford in the FA Cup. Found it a little bit baffling. We had a long chat afterwards and stuff like that for about an hour. But saying that, we've moved on and we've moved on. So that is football, isn't it? It's how you react. And I think in the last 2 seasons we've shown that to be fair, we started very well this season, didn't we? But we've finished strongly as well. And we've done well.